Welcome to Let's Make Fakemon. In today's long-lost episode, I, Substitube, will design fake Pokemon based on your suggestions in the comments. Granted, said comments were about 3 to 4 years old by now. As long as there's no expiration date at the bottom, we are good to go. Any designs I don't end up using myself will be made public on the Substitube Discord. Let us see these ideas come to life. First off, Retroplasm challenges us with the roadkill Fakemon with truck traits. Consider the challenge accepted. This is a concept I've somewhat attempted before with my own roadkill possum fake. Not wanting to be redundant, I chose another common roadkill critter. Deer and rabbits are typical in my neck of the woods, and for a truck concept, a deer's size is best suited. Now, how can we achieve a truck-like appearance? The so-called face of the automobile, the grille and headlights, would translate well as the deer's face. I pictured the side mirrors as ears or maybe antlers, the headlights as eyes, and the grille as a nose, and possibly a license plate as the chin. Subtle tire marks are also a desired aspect, though I wouldn't exactly call the end result subtle. After a bit of streamlining, here is Recarchus, a crashed deer Pokemon. With the Reckless ability, it can make use of Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, and Double Edge. Other fitting moves would be Iron Head, Heat Crash, and possibly Explosion. Next up, Lavargio gets seasonal with the Fairy Ice Figure Skater. I immediately pictured Gallade or Gardevoir styled Pokemon, with the main features being ice skating blades, mixed with the more condensed body as seen with Froslass or Mawile. The so-called clothing it wears would ideally be flowy, the blades hyper-exaggerated, and the hair mirroring some of the exaggerated shape. Rinquin, the Sequined Ice Rink Pokemon, would make devastating use of the move Triple Axle, don't you think? Magical Torque, too, if taken away from that car thing that's not even a Pokemon. Now, August came up with the Ghost Normal Bearskin Rug, a physical attacker with the abilities Unnerve and Tough Claw. Great idea. I dove straight into drawing. Since one of the stipulations were to give it Tough Claws, naturally I gave this beast, well, Tough Claws. And as a physical beast, I wanted something along the lines of Zangoose, with the buffer physique of Grand Bull. As a specter found in haunted log cabins, we have Fur Sign, pelt-based Earth Sign. Shadow Claw and Slash would be its main attacking moves. Metal Claw, Dragon Claw, and Night Slash would make for interesting TMs too. King Kazooie wanted a mosquito with a vaccine-like needle stinger, poison bug typing, and large round eyes similar to the Rayman mosquito enemy. For this round, I only followed the prompt loosely. I kept the overall coloration and the closeness of the wings to the head, though the eyes are toned down quite a bit from the video game enemy. The nose, however, remains a prominent aspect. I experimented with other potential concepts like having a Tengu mosquito hybrid or a syringe missile, while at the same time avoiding remaking Buzzwole all over again. I ended up with a more straightforward final design for Blood Moss, the Blood Lost Mosquito. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that thing's leash life or Giga Drain. To be honest, I'm not totally happy with this final product, but these things happen. When making fakes, you often run into designs that will stump you until you reach an epiphany. Months or even years later? Hopefully sooner than later. In the meantime, it helps to move on and design other things, just as we are about to do with the next prompt. Watermelon Dreams dreamt up an unfinished, mismatched sketch Fakemon that functions in a similar manner to the Galar region fossils. While the Galarian fossils are visually some of my least favorite designs from Gen 8, I still think that conceptually, mix and match Pokemon are a fascinating idea. I took the inspiration from a different Gen 8 mon, Runegrigus, which is a Pokemon composed of a painting split across several different pieces. For my own fake, the drawing is split across 2 pages, sort of like sticky notes, with the Galarian recombination idea coming back into play with those pages being swapped out. The universal head of my fake would be a generic monster, Graphite, drawn simplistically in pencil. The body is swapped out, allowing Graphite to become the reptilian Grapharon, the dog-like Graphito, the insectoid Graphorax, and the giant humanoid Graphiton. I only rendered Grapharon to its completion, since that's the one that turned out best. The rest I leave up to you. Last, but certainly not least, comedy and sci-fi takes a bizarre turn with a psychic-type donut sprinkled with sugar and stuffed with marmalade, or jam, or jelly, whatever floats your donut boat. But seriously though, A psychic type donut? What'll they think of next, am I right?
I love it.
You may have already guessed it, but I find the challenge of making inanimate object mons appealing. Pizzas, candies, staplers, you name it. The donut Fakemon actually fits quite nicely with the recent food Pokemon like Alchemy, Fido, and Swirlix. Trying to fit it into my early gen aesthetics though isn't exactly easy. Where to start? Well, for Psychic type, Gen 1 in particular had many psychics that reminded me of circus acts. You have a hypnotist, a spoon-bending magician, a mime. Seeing as how the circus has many acts involving circular objects like rings, I saw the potential for donuts to be incorporated somehow, as seen in these sketches. A generic donut doodle is always a reliable foundation. Experimenting with shapes, I grew fond of the upright donut most, more than the flat ones. This is the form I decided on. His eyes would be located in the center of the donut hole, floating, sort of like melt hands. Its mouth being a bite mark, with red jelly or marmalade as the tongue. Arms would be maple bars or eclairs, and its gimmick would be ring tossing. Its colors are those of a basic sprinkled donut, while its shiny is more chocolicious. And that's all. If I didn't pick your suggestion, don't feel too bad. Please leave a new comment in this video for the next round of picks. Since I found so much enjoyment in making food mons, that will be the next prompt. Suggest your food mon ideas down below for me to make. I will select 6 to be made in the Sugimori style. And you know what? Feel free to create right along with me, with the same prompts, sharing your work on either Twitter or the Substitube Discord's Fakemon Showcase section. I'm always thinking of ways to improve the format as well, so please feel free to leave your suggestions on how to make this series even better. In the meantime, why not catch up on other Let's Make videos, do the usual YouTube stuff, and become a Substitube subscriber. Until we meet again.